So today, let's throw out the Haven Lifeline to our new friend Ron. Say hi, Ron.
Hey, Joe and OG, I have a question. Could you please discuss goals-based investing? Currently, I don't have any goals, but I'm investing with the goal, I guess, of making more money. Isn't that the goal of every investor, just to make more money? Do you have to invest to go on vacation or to buy a home or to have a car? Why can't I just invest to make more money? I'm confused why I need a goal in order to invest. Does that affect the way I invest if I don't have a goal? Sort of confused, and hopefully you can clear up that confusion. Looking forward to your feedback. Thank you. Goodbye.
I love it.
I don't know if I love.
That call.
Yes, I was going to say, I
Did
don't
you hear
know, Doug,
crickets
if
in
I
the
like
background?
more just his voice and his tone and the way he asked that question, which is the way everybody's thinking about this question that has that same question. But you're right, the crickets, the outdoors. I feel like he's walking down a.
And then he used silence so well. He just end a sentence and just let it sit there and marinate for a second.
If only we had an announcer on our show who could let silence just happen.
God, I know OG will not shut up.
What are you thinking, OG?
I think that if you don't have anything going on and you don't have anything that you're planning for, you still have to have a default. And what I mean by that is if you're lucky enough to be able to have more money than you need to run your life, food and shelter and whatever you have going on, then if you don't have a specific purpose for the next money, right? Like I've taken care of myself and I'm also saving for retirement, or taking care of myself and I'm sending my kids to school, or take care of myself. But now I don't know what else to do, or I've done those things and I still have money. Then you have to figure out what the default is going to be. Is the default to increase your consumption? You know, the lifestyle creep is what we call that. Or is the default to just invest the difference? Because to be fair, if you don't have a goal today, that doesn't mean you won't have one in the future. And if you knew in the future what you know now in terms of your, savings opportunity, you'd probably be pretty happy that you set money aside for this goal that you didn't know that you might have 20 years from now. But that doesn't mean that you have to.
I think that yeah, doesn't that mean though it's much more about time frame and respecting the time frame until you think you're going to want the money than the specific I want a boat?
No, absolutely. That's what I mean. Like if you've checked all those boxes, this could be somebody that's kind of new to investing that goes, I don't know. I just started working. How can I think about retirement? I'm not married. I don't want a house. I don't have any kids. Like that. I don't mean that you should put your money in a 529 plan because you might have kids someday. That's, you don't want to do that. But you have to decide, are you going to consume all of your excess, or are you going to have a default of investing the excess? And you can invest just to have more money. That's perfectly fine because it gives you the flexibility, that margin of safety on the back end that you don't even know that you need yet.
Yeah, and here's the reason Doug.
Well, I've listened to little moments of the show over 10 years, Joe. I mean, just little glimpses that stick in my memory. And haven't we talked about, changing your level of aggression with your investing based on your time frame? So if you don't have any specific goal in mind for a thing, it's just I want more money in the future, might you be a little bit more aggressive with where you put that money? If you know that you're not going to want it or use it until 40 years from now, 30 years from now, or vice versa.
Absolutely. I mean, the way that I describe this in my book is that investments have growing seasons, and the reason I think that analogy works so well is that you plant investments based on when you think you're going to need it. So whether it's for thing A or thing B is irrelevant. But what a lot of investors do is, like we talked about during our headline, Jamie Dimon or Elon Musk start doing some things. If you don't know when you need the money, you start worrying about it. And what do? You pull out the corn when it is still just barely, above ground versus waiting until it's time to actually harvest your crop.
Are you serious? That was the analogy you went with. Pull out your corn.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What? That's not a thing.
I'm not.
Yeah, but if
I'm
you
not talking
don't
about
have,
you pull out your
and
corn.
I think to your point, if you don't have a specific time horizon and a specific goal, then your time horizon is indefinite. So why would you not then just be invested as aggressively as possible at all times with that money? Yeah.
Right.
Which will benefit you.
The problem that's going to happen, which absolutely will benefit you, because then you could ignore the news.
Yep.
Because then you could ignore the ups and downs. But Ron, the problem with non-goal based investing that I've seen, and that I think you've seen, OG, is that people do the opposite. When I don't have a goal, I tend to panic more often, because if the goal is just to have more money, I'm counting it all the time, right? You don't count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
I would also challenge Ron to say that I bet that you do have a goal. You know, we just haven't had asked enough questions to quantify what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I need more money. Okay, why? Because I need more money. Why? Because eventually I don't want to work anymore. Oh, that sounds like financial independence. Sounds like a goal to me.
Well, and right, and digging into that, OG, I mean, think about this. The next question that I would have them would be, what's almost like minimum viable product for a company? What's the minimum viable age where you would be happy not working? Like, what is that age? Is it 45? Is it 50? Is it like, how aggressive do we want to be? Because if the goal is to have more money now, we're not even talking about investing. We're talking about raising the difference between your income and your expense level. So if you tell me, hey, I want more money today, well, then this is a question about asking for a raise. It's not a question about how you invest your portfolio.
Good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have, Ron, especially when you're clearly walking down a dirt road through the country, it sounds like, doesn't it? It completely does.
Wondering when to pull out your corn.
Listen, you invest when you plant a crop, Doug. Do you plant the crop on a set day or a set month because it has over centuries been proven to work? No, you don't. You just do it. You just do it randomly. You just go ahead and you plant it on a random day and hope like hell that it comes up.
Sooner or later, it will, though.
And then maybe
in December, you're planting in January. Mike, you don't know what the weather's going to do. It might come up. You got to always be investing your
very well
seeds.
might. So what's your highest probability of it actually working out where you're going to get a harvest from that crop?
So you're telling me I should invest
the
my
same
money
time they've been
in
doing
April.
it. In what? In April?
In April.
No, I'm telling you, invest it based on when you need the money in the growing season. And then it's only been 2 months. The corn is
about things.
The corn's only a little high. You know what Ron's going to do when he's panicking because he read this article about a.
Wow, Ron's back with this crickets. All I was trying to do was make fun of your corn analogy, and you pulled us right back in. To when are we planting?
Going with it.
Thanks for the question, Ron. If you've got a question for us, head to stackingbenjamins.com/voicemail.